Hello, I'm planning to present a video showing how to use subtotals, how to do them and use them. It's a pretty simple trick. I just wanted to give some suggestions. When creating the tables, you want to make sure that your beginning table has integrity. By that I mean that the rows, there's a row label above each column, a column label above each column, and that there is no blank column. Anytime there's a blank column, you should either put a name in the title column or delete that column. And the same goes for the rows. You want to be sure you have no blank rows. One of the ways that you make sure you don't have a blank row is add a sequence column to the left. And I demonstrate that on my pivot table. So you might want to watch the pivot table video before watching the subtotal table. I'll be showing you how to summarize data so you can see the detail in totals, how to display subtotals for easy reference, and how to copy a picture of the subtotal to a new page. Quite often you're doing the subtotals to create the subtotal data and really don't want the detail, but you want the subtotals easy to see for input into another system. So we'll be taking a look at that on the video too. This is Phil Nelson. In order to demonstrate subtotaling in Excel, I'm going to download this table from Larry's Landscaping and Garden Supply, which is a sample company provided by QuickBooks. So I will be exporting this into Excel, and I'm going to do this off camera, but I thought I'd get it started for you. So I've eliminated the space between columns. Saves time when you download to an Excel. And I sent the headers to the page setup in Excel. Then we'll go ahead and export to a new Excel sheet. Okay, we've now downloaded the table as it looks in Excel. As you can see, it does look the same as a report, and we're going to have to clean this up in order to use it as a table. This Control-N took me down to the bottom of the spreadsheet. First of all, we can delete this column here because there's really nothing much in it. It's merely side angles that look good on paper. Now, one of the things I like to do with the table is first of all make sure there's no blank columns. Now there's no blank columns between A and L. That's control left arrow, control right arrow. If I do it one more time, it takes me all the way to the far right hand side. Excuse me. Now I'm going to make this table have integrity. That means I'm also going to make sure that every column in here every row in here has something. So right now I have numbered all the rows, and that means no matter where we touch inside of here, if we decide we want to use the whole sheet, it will get it. And that makes it real nice for doing future. Now I like to hard code this in, so it's copy paste value, and I have a hotkey that I use for that in my personal. Can't see it here, but I'll be using it later. Now I'm going to get rid of this row here. Let's go Control-End, and I think we can get rid of these rows. Okay, we now have the spreadsheet. We now have it ready to begin to manipulate the data. And this has quite a bit of detail. It was being used to download for a dashboard. Created the report just to test it. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to want to do a subtotal based on, I think I'm going to use year, month, and so what we're going to do here is we're going to create, and I have a macro to do this. This is a built-in add-in that I created. Now you can see I've created a formula here which makes that y dash month, month. Now, I'm going to copy this down. We'll sort by month. I think we'll sort by date, and then it will be sorted automatically. So we have from 12/2008 going up to 12/2011. Now I already have the icon up here. Excuse me. I already have the icon in here to do subtotals, but it is also on the data and over on the far right hand column. So let's just go ahead. We want to subtotal on the month, month, year, year. We want it to sum. We want it to sum the amount, and I want the summary below the data. That's all there is to it. Okay, now if we take a look over here, we can see that the subtotals by month are here on the right. Now you can see that this is hard to read, so what I'm going to do is collapse down to the 2 level. Now you just see the subtotals. Let's now, that is, okay, Control Shift up arrow, then I hold the Shift key down, and then down arrow 1. And I'm going to show you how to do this manually. I have a macro that does this, but find select, go to special, and we're going to go to just the visible cells. Then I'm going to put boxes around it, and I'm going to color it yellow, and I'm going to boldface it. Okay, now let's uncollapse it, and we now have an easy to see subtotal table. Another thing we can do is just highlight the whole thing and put in the boxes. Let's lower down to column 4. I have a macro that does the header. Don't like to use the until there's a finish. Then we can hide whatever columns we don't want. Some of this detail we may want for another type of project, but probably don't need to have the information that we have there. Let's hide it. And let's spread this out. Let's make this look good with numbers. And there you are. There's a pretty simple way to use the subtotal table. And you can do subtotals within subtotals and things like that. That's more advanced, but I'm just demonstrating that we have it here. Then if we want to, we can collapse it. We can highlight it, or we can find select. We can go to find select over here, go to special. Once again, go to visible cells only. Don't like the way that looks. Let's highlight it again. Find select, go special, go to visible cells only. Okay, now we're going to Control C. Let's insert a sheet, Control V, and we now have the table here as a standalone table with none of the subtotal stuff on it. Might want to do that to create a, say, a graph, but it wouldn't do much for us here except as maybe a bar graph. There it is, quick little bar graph here. So all that's done from a simple download of a table. Of course, when you get thousands, then you can use filters and so on. You can use a pivot table to do your charts. Thank you very much. This is just a quick demo on how to do a subtotal.